All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. Welcome to Recap Monday on the Fire Sports Pod. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, here with my guest host and good friend of mine, Ian. You guys have seen him before. Say what's up, Ian, to the everybody in the chat.
What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Fire Sports Pod? I'm back.
Back like you never left. It's been a while.
It has been a while, but my presence is always heard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so we got a big show for you guys today. We're going to try to keep it as quick as possible, but man, we are just going to literally stick with NBA free agency because we got a lot to get to. If you guys want to know basically of the big monster NBA free agency moves, just look at my TikTok. We posted almost everything up to date other than the Jason Tatum, which just happened about 20 minutes or so, which he got the biggest contract in NBA history, a 5-year deal worth of $310 million. But that is not the first one we're going to go to because we're going to go to from the beginning when they set the salary cap. The salary cap was topped at $140,588,000. The luxury tax was $170,814,000. First apron was $178,132,000, and second apron was $188,931,000. The National Basketball Association today announced, which was a couple days ago, the salary cap has been set at $150.58 million for the 2024 and the 2025 season. The tax level for that season is $170,814,000. So that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Well, Aiden, you could say the Lakers are losing free agency. I get you all day, every day. But hey, guess what? Might be looking like DeMar DeRozan is heading to the Lakers. I don't think that's
some rumors.
There's some rumors going around. But our first move, I'm going to tell you, is that we had Mikal Bridges go to the New York Knicks.
I was so happy.
Which was now they have recreated the Villanova effect. You got Jalen Brunson. You got Mikal Bridges. You got what's his face? Man,
you got Dante DiVincenzo. You got Josh Hart. Unfortunately, Knicks lost the other Hart to OKC, but overall, and then they still re-signed OG Anunoby at $204 million for 4 years. I think it's a 4-year contract.
But the Lakers, the first move that we're really going to go over, other than the Mikal Bridges one, was that the Lakers made a move. Not a move. They re-signed Max Christie to a 4-year, $32 million deal. I don't think it's a boom, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think as for a future pick, for a future prospect or a future person that can grow with our team, I think this is actually pretty good valued. He's not a bad player. But he's not like crazy. But it wasn't that bad. I mean, I'll take it. Now, our next move. What do we think of the KCP move? Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is heading to the Magic. 31-year-old. I think he got a little bit overpaid, but I definitely think he deserves it. But I don't.
He got $78 million, right? Was he 60? $78 million is crazy for Pope.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for a guy that he's a starter, but he's not a big starter. I don't think he's not as good as he used to be. He's still a lockdown defender. I think he'll help the Magic with their shooting ability. I think it's going to be great for them as a young team. They definitely need shooters, and he adds that veteran presence with the shooting background. Another trade rumor. This was on June 30th, yesterday. And parent name to watch in the Lakers trade rumors that would be Jeremy Grant. The rebuilding Blazers would likely to be happy to move the veteran forward who scored 21 points per game and hit 40% from three-point land last season. The Lakers are expected to be busy in the coming hours. I'm told the Lakers and Trailblazers have been in consistent talks on deals for Jeremy Grant. I wouldn't call it particularly imminent, but the sides have definitely been active most of today, which was yesterday. I like that move. If we could,
that's kind of cool. That would be kind of crazy. You're running AD, Grant, and LeBron. That's kind of filthy. And then for some reason, if they were able to afford DeRozan too, if that happens, possibly. Oh my God, that would be a very interesting team.
That would be very interesting. It'd be a veteran team. You got some youth when it comes to Austin Reeves and Jeremy Grant, Rui Hachimura. But if we could pick up DeMar or even Jeremy Grant, I'd probably rather Jeremy Grant. He's younger. He's a little bit more athletic than DeMar.
I feel like he'll be cheaper too. I think you can probably get away with giving like a few picks compared to.
No, I think DeMar will be much cheaper. I think Jeremy Grant, since he's younger, he'll be more expensive.
But I think he's already locked onto a contract, so they wouldn't have to pay him. And then it's then
that's a good thing.
They might just have to give up like maybe 2 picks, or like maybe a few picks, and then they'd have to give up maybe player to match the cap. But that it's either way. I feel like both moves, they're not bad. They're very make or miss moves.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now the next move we have is CP3. He got waived by the Warriors yesterday, and then it got picked up for an $11 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. So Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul will be on the same team. I think this goes wonders for their very young team, talented team. And with Greg Popovich as an older coach, I think this works perfect. It's a great tandem. And you got him for only $11 million. He's a NBA veteran point guard, one of the best point guards the NBA has seen. He's in the top 15, I believe, in point guards. Definitely a guy that can be considered the point god, some people would say. Just his IQ, his passing ability, and when he was younger, his scoring ability. But still, he's a veteran. He's got veteran presence, been in the playoffs, knows how to win, as well as he can still pass the ball and control an offense, which I think Chris Paul does wonders for the Spurs.
It would very much help the Spurs a lot. Veteran presence, lots of great ball movement, and very good help for Wembanyama.
Yep. James Harden, he is staying with the Clippers. Now, James Harden will sign a 2-year, $70 million contract to return to the Clippers. Now, he was projected maybe to move to the Lakers or other teams, but I think the best bet for James was to stay in LA with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. I like that tandem of Kawhi and James Harden. Now Paul George has booked it to Philly, and it looks like Westbrook will be on the move as well. He's looking to move to Denver. They did move Reggie Jackson off and then Caldwell Pope, so maybe they're making room for a buy-in of Russell Westbrook to the Nuggets. That would be something to have the Nuggets with Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and then you have Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. I think that would
be an interesting presence off the bench, because I don't think you're starting
Westbrook. No, he's not starting, but he would be off the bench.
Start Westbrook, but that would be a really good bench. Westbrook controlling a bench's offense, that would be something interesting, because he can still pass the ball like crazy, but he's gonna get some buckets. Not the same, but
Scotty 15 said in the chat, Knicks need to get a center.
They do need to get a center. I agree with you 100%. Literally, the thing with the Knicks right now is they just need to find someone. I haven't looked at who's
Scotty says, Ian, Scotty says Wagner or Wiseman. He would be
did see Wagner. Definitely not Wiseman. Wagner. I would rather have Wagner.
Yeah, Robinson is too injury prone to count on him to stay healthy.
100%.
When he's on the floor, he's great, but when he's off the floor, he sucks because he's there. The best ability is availability, and if you're not available, to me, you suck. I don't care what your role is in that offense. If you're not available for your team, then you suck because you're not there.
I don't know if they drafted a center, because to be honest, their draft picks are not going to be very useful players. They're not going to get minutes. So I don't know if they drafted a center and they're going to mold him into what Hardenstein and what Noel was in the past and do that possibly. But if they did draft a center in that sense, they could do that too if they don't want to spend the money. But but if they could get Wagner, that would be crazy.
Yeah. Don't forget, guys, to drop me a follow if you haven't already. Who's in the chat? Don't forget to like the live as well as share it. Appreciated it. Wouldn't mind Walker Kessler in a trade. Heard he was up for a trade. That wouldn't be that bad. He's not a crazy monster, but it wouldn't be that bad. But another sign that happened yesterday, The first reported deal after 6 p.m. goes to the Boston Celtics' Luke Cornett, and the champion Boston Celtics backup forward is staying in Boston on a 1-year deal to return to the Celtics. Not a big thing, but that was the first reported deal as free agency began. Kevin Love, free agent, /center, is finalizing a 2-year, $8 million deal plus deal to return to the Miami Heat. The veteran is not leaving Miami. He will be staying there. He'll be 36 by opening night. He gets a 2-year deal worth $8 million. Still, man, can lace it from 3, coming off the bench. Veteran presence, knows how to win. Love that.
That's a great contract.
Yes, sir, it is. As we know, the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Mavericks were interested in Klay Thompson. We all know the Mavericks got him for a 50-year, $3 million, a 3-year, $50 million deal, which is not a bad move. I think the Mavericks are going to do wonders with Kyrie Irving and Luka. The only question mark is, will the ball find Klay? Because we all know how ball dominant both Kyrie and Luka are, but they are able to pass the ball. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I heard a lot of people were that, but I was the first one to say that I did like I kind of had a feeling that the Mavericks were going to pick up Klay Thompson even more than my Lakers were. I thought Klay Thompson was going there, and look what happened. He actually did go there. So,
yeah, I feel like that move definitely made sense because once they lost Derrick Jones Jr.,
they
just picked up. I know it's a little bit of a different type of player, and Klay Thompson's a great move for them. The perimeter shooting and the defense can be huge for them. And
definitely,
Klay it's not prime Klay, but he's still got Klay Thompson powers.
Yeah. Another move, Batum. Nicholas Batum is out of Philly. Will not be returning to the Philadelphia 76ers. He has not been picked up by a team.
Oh, he got picked up by the Clippers.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he got picked up by the Clippers.
Oh, okay.
He's on like a 1 year. He's on like a.
Then this was an old Batum. This was from yesterday. Then that means that he already got picked up.
I swear, he just gets bounced around from literally Philly to LA like all the time.
Yeah, I know. Batum is not bad. I like Nicholas Batum. Yes, yeah, Tatum re-signed with the Celtics, Scotty, to the biggest deal in NBA history, 5-year, $310 million deal. Wasn't surprised, just didn't think he was going to get the biggest deal in NBA history. But hey, it is what it is. Brandon Ingram trade rumors. Sacramento Kings are pursuing a trade for Brandon Ingram. Told the Kings have had discussions with the Pelicans and it's worth nothing. Ingram was an emerging star under coach Alvin Gentry, who works in the Kings front office. So you might see Sacramento push to get Brandon Ingram. I would like that move. If
I were New Orleans, I would keep him. Because I think Murray.
You got DeJounte Murray now.
They got Murray and they have Zion. So they got 3 emerging players or 3 big players. And it's New Orleans. They might as well put the show on and give the 3 of them a shot. And then if it doesn't work, then maybe ship out Ingram. Or obviously you're not shipping out Zion unless he just gets hurt really badly and he becomes like Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
But that I would give it a year and see like what they can do, because that would be a sick trio to watch.
Yes, it would. And not to mention they got Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, the 3rd or the 2nd, and then they have CJ McCollum still.
Yeah, I think they retained a lot of their players too, so they still have most of that roster.
Yeah,
it's a good roster. So
definitely. And another move, we had the Thunder making a pitch, and they have agreed terms with Hartenstein. I know you were a little bummed out that they let go of Hartenstein, but
I mean, I was expecting it because like you gave OG Anunoby like $200 million, you can't afford it. And if I'm Hardenstein in that situation, I'm chasing the bag. That's $87 million. Like, I don't think that he's going to get a contract like that again.
Yeah. The big one that I was surprised was Jonas Valanciunas going to the Wizards. This man could have went to the Lakers, could have went to a championship team, or stayed with the Pelicans. And you go to the Wizards, who absolutely suck in DC. They are not in the thick of things. They are not going to be good next year. I mean, they have good players, Poole, Kuzma. You add Valanciunas, but it's not it's not an ideal fit. I don't really like that move if I'm Valanciunas, but he wanted the bag more than the chip. I guess I respect it, but still, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I get what you mean on that one. Very random team choice. And I'm shocked. I'm still shocked about his contract value. I said that a lot too. I was very shocked that he got 30 million. I thought he was at least gonna get like 40 million. With all this money being thrown around, I did not expect him to get 30 mil because like he could actually shoot a little. And that's pretty good for a center. I'm shocked that a team wasn't gonna throw 45 million at him.
Yeah, me too. I was a little surprised on how much he got.
Maybe his agents played it a little impatient.
I think 30 million is still a lot for Jonas Valanciunas. He wasn't great. He was okay. He was good. He's
a good player, but like it's like the good players are getting like close to 50 million. I just thought that he would get a little more. Like I thought maybe he'd get like 10 million more.
Mm.
I mean, maybe he just didn't negotiate his contract or anything, and he was just kind of like, I'm taking whatever at this point. Like, why not?
Yeah, maybe. That's sometimes what players do, but I don't really think it's the best route to do. But hey, that's him. Now the Clippers, they are looking for a Westbrook trade. Like I said earlier, it looks like a suitable fit could be the now second-year defending champs in the Denver Nuggets. They might be looking out to pick up this man, Russell Westbrook, from the Clippers, as they made some room with pushing off Caldwell Pope to the Magic, as well as taking out Reggie Jackson, which was off their bench. So that might be a good one. Andre Drummond is back in Philly. 76ers made their first move of free agency, a blockbuster. It is not, but they have packed up center of Joel Embiid with Andre Drummond. Is signing a 2-year deal with the Sixers per Shams Charania. Drummond spent the part of 2021-2022 season in Philly before being moved to the James Harden / Ben Simmons trade. He appears ready to return to the city. I'm in the mood for a Philly cheesesteak, said Andre Drummond. I mean, it's good to have a backup center, especially for Joel Embiid, because he keeps getting hurt. But he's not the ideal center you would want, but it is what it is.
I think he works for their system. He's like solid for what they're giving him. He works for their system too because he's a board center. He's not outside, so he helps with the spacing a lot. So the other guys on that bench can shoot the ball out.
Yeah, exactly. Now KCP, the official contract was $66 million for 3 years.
Okay, that's relatively good price.
Yeah. Now the Warriors shoot down the LaVine trade. Warriors waived Chris Paul shortly before the NBA free agency.
I thought that was crazy.
And because he's just not consistent. He's always injured. He's not really consistent. And when he is, he's
Chicago was going to give him a pick too. Like honestly, for LaVine, and you could have maybe made Chicago give you 2 draft picks. Why would you not take that opportunity? Like that's like might as well just let LaVine go, and then like if LaVine gets hurt, he gets hurt. Like whatever. I mean,
I get what you're saying, but I just think that LaVine, since he's injury prone, they just didn't want to take a chance and waste money where they could get a bona fide star, or at least get somebody that actually is going to stay healthy and help them win or try to win.
I don't think they're gonna. Their dynasty is done.
But I know, but at least they would have somebody that stays healthy. I know it's an upside if LaVine stays healthy, and then maybe you look at another. Not dynasty, but another big trio with Draymond.
Steph. Yeah, they would be able to probably sneak into like the 5th, 6th seed and maybe make some noise a little bit.
Yeah,
but like I feel like even the higher seeds in the West might still be able to defeat that team. I mean, unless LaVine really like gels well with the Warriors, or like the Warriors, I don't know, they build the roster. I don't know, the guys around them, they all just start getting hot or something, and like momentum builds. But I think they'd be like first round, second round exits.
Yeah. Then Detroit signed Cade Cunningham to a monster 5-year, $226 million maximum rookie extension. I mean, they suck. They're the worst team in the NBA. They had one of the worst NBA losing streak in NBA history, and they had the worst record last year in the NBA. I think you just have your best player. You got to pay him. He had 23, 7, and 4 last year. You got to pay him. That's all you got.
It's true. You got to make someone stay in Detroit. I don't think anyone wants to be in Detroit.
Nah. So yeah, Valanciunas went to the Wizards for $30 million. 76ers land Eric Gordon. He's heading to Philly. Has agreed to a minimum deal with the 76ers per Kyle Neubeck. Is on a minimum deal with the 76ers. So Eric Gordon is heading to the 76ers. He left, I believe, Phoenix. Was it Phoenix or was it?
Yeah, I think he was on Phoenix. I think he was a cheap contract for Phoenix.
Yep.
Because they spent all their money on Durant and Beal.
Now, Dallas pivoted to signing Najee Marshall. League sources say after unexpected conceding tonight that it was likely would not have the wherewithal to retain Derrick Jones Jr. while the Mavs focus on a sign-in trade pursuit of Klay Thompson, which they got Klay Thompson, they lost Derrick Jones Jr., and they signed Najee Marshall. So that's not bad. Najee Marshall has agreed on a 3-year, $27 million deal with the Mavericks. He was originally on the Crest, I believe it was the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans. He was on a deal signing former Pelicans Najee Marshall to a 3-year, $27 million deal. Not bad. They lost him to Derrick Jones Jr. He's not as a high flyer. He's not a big shot maker, but he's a little bit better than what they didn't have. So I would take Marshall going to the Mavericks, and then you add Klay Thompson. So I like that.
And also, he's not too expensive. He's $27 million.
That's too.
So it's not going to really destroy the cap.
Yeah, exactly.
And he could exceed expectations because you know how these young guys go in these new systems and stuff. Like he could do a little more than you think.
Yep,
so it's a good deal.
Yep, most definitely. Now, Adrian Wojnarowski reported yesterday at 9:55 p.m. free agent center Mason Plumlee has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Phoenix Suns. So
that's solid.
Going from where he was with the Clippers, now he's going with the Suns. I mean, they have Nurkic there. Then you bring in Plumlee, I guess, as the backup. Not bad, but it's okay. It's all right. It's not a big thing. But this one was a shocker where free agent forward Derrick Jones Jr. has signed a 3-year, $30 million deal with the Clippers, who lost Paul George, which I think is a big pickup with the loss of Paul George to really revamp. And if you're going to lose Westbrook too, definitely need somebody high flyer, can hit pivotal shots when they matter the most. And I think Derrick Jones Jr. can do that. He didn't do that in the finals, but leading up to the finals, he was a big reason why they were there. Kelly Oubre has agreed to a 2-year deal, $16.3 million to stay with the 76ers. I think this is a great deal.
Oh, I agree. Good move.
Especially bringing Paul George. Paul George and Kelly Oubre are very similar when it comes to the shots that they take.
He was a very good. He was good in the series against the Knicks. As much as he was a pest, he was very pesty and how many times I was screaming at the screen. I'm like, somebody just smack him, dunk on him real quick. He's getting a little cocky, but he's very, very good with that team, and he's a very solid role player for them, and he helps carve them out very well. So it's a good piece that they retained.
Definitely. And then we have news 9 hours ago. Now we get into where the big monster ones. Tyrese Maxey gets a monster extension. Definitely deserves it. Yep. Hours after agreeing to a $212 million deal with Paul George, the 76ers agreed to
$400 million
with an all-star guard of Tyrese Maxey. The extension no surprise by any means, as Philly waited to agree to a deal with Maxey so it could have more cap room flexibility this offseason. He had 30 points a game in the Sixers' first-round loss to the Knicks. This was a monster extension, over $204 million he had over the next 4 or 5 years. And then another one, Thunder strike 3 times in one day. They got Paul George. They got Maxey on an extension. And then they picked in another extension to a team, 5-year, $47 million deal for, I believe it was Aaron Wiggins, for the long haul, as the team is set to sign him for a 5-year, $47 million deal. We just played him in 2K. You were playing him as 2K yesterday, Ian. It wasn't that bad.
I know. I think he's pretty solid. I think he's a solid young player.
Okay, $47 million is a lot, but
I mean, he's getting to 5 years. So it's if you take about the cap break, he's getting I don't know the math. I'm not even going to attempt the math right now. I'm going to embarrass myself if I attempt the math. But he's not getting like it's a pretty good deal for 5 years too. They get him for a lot of years. He'll still develop, and he might end up making more money, or he'll stay the same, and he'll just end up getting some solid role player contracts.
Yeah.
Who knows with these young guys from OKC? They come out and do a lot of damage, make a lot of noise.
Yep, definitely. Then the Bulls make a move as free agent center Jalen Smith has agreed to a 3-year, $27 million contract with the Chicago Bulls. So he heads there with the looming thing of Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan locking up a center. That's pretty good. Tobias Harris, we all know he is leaving to the Pistons for a 2-year, $52 million deal to help out Kate
fans must be so happy.
Yep. Free agent center.
I'd be cheering.
What?
I would be cheering if I was a Philly fan because that man broke everybody's hearts when they chose him over Jimmy.
Yeah, that was really bad. I don't know.
That was crazy.
But free agent center Luka Garza is returning to Minnesota. He was one of the best coming out of Iowa a couple years back when it comes to college basketball players, but he really hasn't seen the floor. But he's staying in Minnesota, which is good for him. And then you have free agent center Drew Ebanks has agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal to join the Utah Jazz.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
We had another free agent guard, Delon Wright, has agreed to a 1-year, $3.3 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's a solid role player. It's a good pickup
from the Heat to the Bucks. And then we had Derek White. He signs a monster 4-year, $125.9 million contract extension. Definitely deserving. I think Drew Holiday and White were the biggest difference in that finals. To be honest, they were the MVPs of the whole season. Those two were the glue that kept the Celtics going. And I think without them, they would never been where they were at. Jaylen Brown definitely deserves the MVP, but if I could give an MVP for the whole season, I would give it to a co-MVP of Derek White and Drew Holiday, with no doubt about it.
Oh, 100%. Drew Holiday is just that perfect guy you get when you have a team with already studs, like a lot of stars. He's perfect because he plays great at the role needs with the defense, rebounding, passing, and he still scores a good amount. He's very perfect for winning teams. I mean, he did it with Milwaukee, and then he just came to Boston and got one. And I mean, he was a former All-Star, but he kind of turned into this super starter. He's not a superstar, but he's a super starter.
Yep, definitely. Now, another move, as you said, the Clippers picked up Nicholas Batum on a 2-year, $9.6 million deal. Like he said, he's going back from LA to Philly, just going back and forth.
We just keep going back and forth. I mean, hey, that's not bad.
Yep.
Get in the bag.
Yep. Free agent DeAnthony Melton plans to sign a 1-year, $12.8 million deal with the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors pick up a solid guy off the bench. It wasn't that bad. And then we are moving to free agent guard Aaron Holiday, brother of Drew Holiday, plans to sign a 2-year, $10 million deal to stay with the Houston Rockets. Holiday played 78 games as a reserve guard for the Rockets.
That's a good player. I love Aaron Holiday. I'm a big fan of Aaron Holiday. He's very nice.
Yes, I do definitely agree with that, Clay. Aaron Holiday is something. Now, there's some trade rumors that we might be seeing a Lauri Markkanen with Klay Thompson's departure. Will the Warriors pay for Lauri Markkanen to get out of and trade for him to get out of Utah to come to the Warriors?
That wouldn't be a bad move. Definitely a good center for West Coast style basketball.
I would definitely like to see that.
That would be crazy. If they did that and didn't get LaVine, then I take back criticizing the Warriors. And I'm like, all right, they did get a player. They went for a guy that's the same level as LaVine, pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
So it's a good if they do land that, that's a good move. It's an interesting move. I mean, at this point, why not? You gotta use Curry as long as you can. You can't just leave him without nobody and let his career kind of die out. He's a great player. You need to use that greatness.
Yes, definitely. Now, Klay Thompson, yes, we did see the Klay Thompson news, 3-year, $50 million deal to the Mavericks. I said it earlier. I think that's a great move. I wanted the Knicks to get Drew. That would have been nice if the Knicks got Drew Holiday, but I didn't see it going to be happening. I just think the Celtics had a lot more leeway with it, and I think that's just what happened.
I don't think the Knicks would. I wanted the Knicks to get Drew Holiday maybe like, I'm trying to think, probably in the 2018s. I've wanted the Knicks to get Drew Holiday for a long time.
Yeah.
But at this point with the Knicks, I would disagree that he is not a guy you want. He's going to cost too much money, and you have Deuce McBride, who is developing into a great player, and he's on such a cheap deal right now. You gotta ride with Deuce, and unless you can get unless you get another impact, like unless you get like a veteran guard that you could maybe pair with Deuce or something, but you don't even need that. Like, I don't know, Drew Holiday, that's a little excessive for a Knicks move. They just need to get a big man, and their rosters.
No, he said he wished Drew Holiday got picked when he was free agent last year instead of going to the Celtics. I would have liked to see that, but I think the Celtics have more leeway.
100%.
Do you think
he wants to win at this point?
Yeah. Do you think the Warriors will get anything? I would say that they were trying to probably push for either Zach LaVine or maybe no, they didn't want Zach LaVine. Maybe they will push for Lauri Markkanen. I think that's their best case scenario.
I think it's only Markkanen, honestly.
It's really Markkanen. Now, Jason Tatum, $314 million super maximum contract extension through the 2029-2030 5-year deal. Man's one of the best players in the NBA. Didn't think it was worth $314 to set the market, but hey, that's what they paid him. Free agent center Goga Bazadi returning to the Magic on a 3-year, $25 million contract. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. Just to recap the biggest moves of the NBA free agency, Paul George lands with the 76ers on a 4-year, $212 million contract. Klay Thompson intends to join the Mavs on a $50 million contract, which he did. James Harden agrees to a 2-year, $70 million deal with the Clippers. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope agrees to a 3-year, $66 million deal with the Magic. The Thunder agreed to a 3-year deal with Isaiah Hartenstein. Warriors waived Chris Paul, who is signing with the Spurs on an $11 million deal. Tobias Harris is heading back to the Pistons on a $52 million deal. Jonas Valanciunas lands a 3-year deal with the Wizards. Derrick Jones Jr. gets a 3-year deal with the Clippers. Kevin Love stays with the Heat on a 2-year deal. 76ers signed veterans Andre Drummond and Eric Gordon and bring back Kelly Oubre Jr. Scotty the 15, I don't want to know what Brunson is going to get when he gets a new contract, LOL. Yeah, Brunson is going to get a monster contract sooner rather than later. You have Hartenstein, not even Hartenstein. I forgot it was one of these guys that's making like $9 million over Brunson, and Brunson is totally way better than this guy. I forgot what the.
Well, it's Hardenstein's making $6 million more than him, actually.
Yes, that's the thing. Hardenstein's
$6 million more than him a year.
35.6 million a year, and Brunson's making 24 or 26. And
Brunson started out at a $125 million contract, and he's just. I mean, we all know he's exceeded the expectations, and I mean he will get a big extension, and I think the Knicks will be prepared for that. I think they've been preparing for that, so I'm not as worried about that, and I don't think he will. I think he's one of those stars who's more humbled. I think he might take a little bit of a team friendly discount. Like I think he might not go max, but I think he might take $40 million less maybe, and like get like maybe $230 or $220 added to his original contract in an extension. I think that's possible, but if he does get the bag and does the full blown max, he deserves it.
Gotcha. And then Aiden OG, that was in the beginning. I believe that was like a couple years worth over $200 million. But I will double check for you exactly what his contract was. It was a $213 million deal for, I believe, 5 years or 4 years. Yeah, Scotty, it was about 5 years. It was $213 million. I think it's the deal that they had to make. But other than that,
I thought he was getting like 220. I can't lie.
Huh?
I thought he was getting 220. When I saw it was under 220, I was a little happy with that.
All right, that's good. I mean, it saved you guys $7 million, so that's not bad. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for the show here on the Fire Sports Pod. We got basically kind of recapped all what's happening in NBA free agency world. Here on Recap Monday, Season 4, Episode 5. Don't forget to check out my latest episode, which was on Season 4, Episode 4, which was Friday. We had my boy X on. We were in Montclair. He was in Montclair doing his show, Coin Toss. I was doing my show. It was pretty cool. Definitely check that out. Also, if you missed this show, this will be put on Apple Podcasts and Spotify at the Fire Sports Pod. And our YouTube, as well as some clips, will be put out into TikTok and Instagram. So definitely go check that out. But I will catch you guys on Wednesday for our next show, which will be Season 4, Episode 6. But I got to get the hell out of here. I got to go get my grandmother a birthday present. It is her 74th birthday today on July 1st.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I appreciate it. So I have to go get a present for her. So I'm going to be getting off the show here as well as the live. Again, I appreciate all the support, guys. It's been an honor, and I appreciate all that has been staying with me. And let's keep going from here, guys. We're just going to keep building and building and building, and hopefully this will take a course from there. Other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night, I should say, because it's already 7:10. And I will see you guys on Wednesday, the day before the 4th of July holiday. So I'll see you guys there. Thanks again, Ian, for coming on as my special guest. I appreciate it.
We'll see when I return. I don't know, but I'll make my way back.
All good. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that return. But guys, I'm out. Ian's gonna be out too, so we'll all say sayonara, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out, guys.
Deuces, everybody.